People want to know what they're paying for and appreciate the service. It's not always about the price if you're getting the service.
You're not on the bleeding edge being the crash test dummy, but you need to be aware so that you know how to build the right stack for your team to not have to do manual tasks, right? All right, Stephen, we are back on promoting our 2026 annual agency strategic planner. You get it printed, there's video accompaniments, there's guides. We literally want to give everybody like, here's the things you need to focus on and what you need to do in 2026. How exciting is that?
I feel like it's almost like a charcuterie board for planning.
Oh, so good. So good.
There's lots of flavors and pieces. You get to put it together and enjoy it how you must. But sometimes you get a whole lot of things and it could get overwhelming. So you just start little and then get bigger as you go.
Yeah. My thing about the charcuterie plan that boards is like, I'm very now, I need the right like size cheese. Like I don't like when they cut things too thick. And like the cube is hard on a toasty. So many things. If only I could do consulting for charcuterie boards.
I mean, if you think about it though, like creating a business plan for or business strategy for your agency is kind of difficult too, because is it the right size, wrong size? How do you make it happen? So that's why I like that example. Like we work with all kinds of agencies all over the country, and it's not one size fits all, but we have a master plan of how to get there.
Hold on, I'm recording this from home and the dog needs to move.
America
Home has made a guest cameo.
America wants to help your agency become ridiculously amazing.
We had some flight issues forcing a whole work from home stitch today.
For an additional fee in a private plane, America can visit your agency too.
The need for a private plane was realistic. Reinvigorated my need to stay focused, right? Like in a big, meaningful fashion. So let's talk about some exact examples here. Like, what's a good example of an agency that you work with on the renewal review call plans? Do you have any good examples that you can share so that people know that these things work?
Absolutely. I think that, like, I'm working with the agency right now that kind of during our assessment process, actually did the kind of build your own plan where they took the videos, went through it and started rolling it out to the team, asked questions along the way. And the team has now bought in and they're seeing so much less stress because they're being proactive with the customer. So they're calling in, they're being a little nicer. The client knows they're getting a review, and it's just building a better experience overall. I work with another agency that the team fought like no other on account reviews. And it took about 6 months, like a full 6 months to get the team to start doing it consistently.
No, but you really have to do them.
Right. Like, no, we're really doing them. I'm tired of talking about them and all these excuses and reasons. So, I mean, we finally got the leadership team together, got everybody on the same page, started accountability with it. And making it happen and telling the team it wasn't an option, that there was always an excuse, but we had to make it happen. And now 6 months later, the team is so much happier.
That's good.
Because they're like, hey, the client really appreciates it when I call. And when we start looking at numbers versus feelings, it's like, so-and-so yelled at me about their rate and was upset about this and found out that boat wasn't covered. I'm like, okay, so how many renewal calls did we do in a month? And they're like 80. And I'm like, how many people yelled at you? They're like 2. I'm like, so 3% of clients, 3 to 4% of clients were upset. 90-some% were perfectly fine. And how many people said thank you? They're like 15. I'm like, I think the numbers speak for themselves. People want to know what they're paying for and appreciate the service. It's not always about the price if you're getting the service.
Yeah.
So I think letting the team know why it's important, but then helping break down some of their biases also goes a long way.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Next one, sales process. I'll let you take that one too, because I know you're kind of wrapping up with one of my past clients who he did the sales training for.
Yes. Actually, I'm working with a lot of agencies on sales right now because they were clients that we predict the market change is coming. So they wanted to get ahead of it. So one team is all juniors. They all have less than a year experience in insurance, and they're a service team, but their primary role is to sell through service. So really teaching people that are new to insurance the value of insurance to begin with, and then how they can ask for coverages or ask for additional policies, even if somebody's calling for an auto change or a billing question, has been quite the adventure. But in 6 months, the team has grown so much. The team's grown so much, and it's great to see them get more confident. Like, oh, I now know what that coverage does, or I know why I should offer this carrier, or now I know why X, Y, and Z. Another agency we worked with, the sales were lackluster. They had a dedicated sales team, and the sales were lackluster. We started going through the process and getting consistency. And in the first 3 months, we really could figure out who was strong where and who needed help in specific areas because everybody was doing things the same way. So some people was coverage knowledge, some people was carrier knowledge, some people was just getting them to talk to the client and not email everything. Like their numbers were good, but they blew it out of the water once they picked up the phone. I actually am working with a Keystone partner right now who the owner literally goes after our launch of sales training is like, we are never emailing a quote again.
Ever.
We are picking up the phone. We're booking an appointment. It's been decided today, moving forward, we will never email a quote without talking to the client first. And if we do, it will be a video proposal. I was like, oh, I feel like you are super passionate after our half day training and we haven't even really gone anything with the team. He goes, nope, this is the message I'm sending right now. We will not email a quote anymore.
I love that.
So I think too, when you start seeing the value or your eyes are open to something new, he's like, I've done this for years. Like, I'm not dumb when it comes to sales, but I could see how we could sell so much more if we book an appointment or send a proposal by video.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes it is just the process. I think people just don't understand. Like, it's not about this whole big, long thing. Sometimes it's just we need a better process or we need to enforce a process, which is also.
Yeah. I think getting the team bought in goes a long way too. Like the team is ecstatic to do video proposals after we did one on like a sample on the training. I was like, all right, let's just pull it up. Let's go. And they're like, that took 3 minutes. I'm like, we don't need line by line every coverage. We go over, we go through the process, pain point, rapport, blah, blah, blah.
Well, and I'll go on the next one. Next one, one of our strategies we really want agencies to focus in on is what we call, the forever hiring. I said this, we just went through a big hiring process of attracting 6 people. So, Stephen, do you know how infuriating it makes me when I talk to our agencies and they're like, it's so hard to hire? I'm like, I have to find the same people you do that are willing to get on an airplane and go all across the country that have years of management and leadership experience that are willing to then go be trained for a year to go out and do this. Stop telling me it's hard. Stop.
Well, and then it's people like my spouse just got into insurance, like been in it 3 months and has applied everywhere. And they're like, oh, we want somebody with experience. I've been a leader at a veterinary clinic and retail for 25 years. I got my license on my own. What more do you need for experience to like insurance experience?
Yeah.
Like it's the flip or the flop, right?
But here's my thing. Like we make these excuses. So I want to use one of our clients. I'm not going to name names here today, but they've been a long time client. And ever since I know them, like hiring's been a challenge, and they're in a very challenging state named Florida, right? Like it's, and I had to remind them, like, just like we have independent agencies and consulting companies work oddly the same, except you guys have a lot more renewable revenue. We got to really work a bit harder for that renewable income. But I said, I obsess over finding the best people. You know why? Because that's my product. And if I was in a restaurant, I would obsess over the best butter. If I was in a hotel, I'd obsess over the best sheets, right? Like, so I have to obsess over the best people. In insurance, that's what we have. Our product is our people, and we don't obsess over them enough.
No.
And so, like, you need to obsess. You need to hire at a desperation, not preparation. So this agency, I was like, I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of the revolving door. They did everything from, like, their own Indeed, Ideal Traits. They hired a recruiter, right? Said, you got to do everything. Just freaking massively blanket it out because you're never going to get ahead and it's way too stressful to run an agency the way you did. And I can report as of Friday, they were fully staffed.
Yeah.
And in the process of them recruiting, they lost 2 people. And it's not a bad agency to work for. It's just that where they are, there's a lot of places that are coming in and, trying to offer people a lot more money, or the people weren't a good fit, like, all the stuff that happens with it. And now our next adventure is going to be, now you have stability. You need to start building people. Hiring people with good attitude, good, smart, and that's it. And now you never have to go find the needle in the haystack again. So,
and I think that other pain point is the onboarding once we're ready to hire. Like most agents are like, well, we'll just hire them with experience and plug and play. bless us all, that's not how it works. Even if they'd have the same systems and carriers, there's still a learning curve to the way you do it.
Yeah. I think what we have to figure out is just more and more opportunity to just take a minute and like find the right people, but have a strategy behind it. Like we are long gone the days of taking out the newspaper ad and having 30 qualified applicants. You are now going to have to get more strategic on it.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the next, opportunity is how are we going to utilize new ways of thinking to make our team more efficient? So you don't need as many humans. More people, more problems. Okay.
Right?
Like more people, more problems. So virtual assistants, if you have not done this yet, check out our guide on how to hire a VA. Like at least immerse yourself into this, like what you would need to do, how it works. Meet a VA. Look at our podcast. We did one with two of our VAs that have been with me the longest. You can
Yeah.
hear them. They have more college education than I do. I have been over there. And don't get me wrong, I don't think all VA companies are built the same. So you have to be
Yeah.
very selective on how you go about that. But also bots. There's a lot of stuff that we do manually in insurance and that you need a body for. You train the bots and they can do that. Now this sounds like very like George Jetson-ish. I get it. But go to your management system, find out what bot providers they had. Educate yourself. Just learn. Learning doesn't mean you sign a contract, by the way.
Right.
But when you're like, oh, wow, this takes how much time? And then just ask, how much time does this take in our agency? Holy macaroni. You might be more open minded. And, one of the things that I'm always, very important of, and I will say this, I think at least 75% of our agencies we work with use virtual assistants. You are not on the bleeding edge here. Okay. We love Covered S at who we have. I mean, again, I've been doing this for 7 years. Like, can't speak highly enough about it. If you had a bad experience with the VA in the past, let that go like Elsa, baby. Try again. Okay.
Well, one of the things I always have to tell people too is like, just like anybody you hire here as well, every once in a while, one gets through that you thought was going to be great
Hmm.
and they weren't, or your processes were broken, or you had an unrealistic expectation of
Yeah.
what was going to actually happen or what the process was. So
Yeah.
be open to try it again. But go in with open eyes, give it a try, and relieve some of the stress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then the last one is bots, I would say these are getting more and more popular. I think maybe like 20% of our agencies work with them. They're much more geared up towards like AMS 360, Epic right now, because those are the major
Uh-huh.
systems. But these bots do all sorts of stuff. Like they can do your renewal comparison. They can check for notices of cancellation by going out and coming back. So you need to learn about this stuff. I'm not saying you need to sign a contract. I'm saying in 2026, you need to be aware of the things that
And
have
what's
now been on
happening?
the marketplace a couple years. You're not on the bleeding edge being the crash test dummy, but you need to be aware so that you know how to build the right stack for your team to not have to do manual tasks, right? And the last thing is like there's like two types of agencies in the world, maybe three. There's the ones that buy like every piece of technology under the sun, like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a game changer. Like, oh, did you see what that did? I'm like, oh, the demo, you saw what that did on the demo? Yeah, oh, amazing. And then there's the ones that are yeah, we buy some tech sometimes, but it's like very conservative. And then there's the ones I think like are tried and true agencies that like, hey, a couple years after the tech's out, they test it. They do like what we just did with purchasing a learning management system. Like they go out to a couple vendors, they go through the demos, they research, they have a little sandbox, they play, they ask a lot of questions. Almost like so when they're ready to buy, they have their implementation strategy like ready to go. They've beta
Right.
tested it. They like slow roll tech for a good effective rollout. And I think that, there's a lot to be said on this, but here's the thing. In 2026, adoption of the technology we're paying for is not optional.
No.
And don't let your staff also say, oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Like ask questions and try it yourself. But it's not an optional situation. This is what we're doing. This is part of our client experience, right? So I would say that on that one, we've experienced on all of them. Can I talk about first call resolution?
Please, please.
Yeah, we
I
have great
love first call
agency.
resolution.
Yeah, I'll do this one in client management. So we have a great agency in Massachusetts, and they went through our time management training program. And, it's interesting because they have a heavy immigrant population. And sometimes people who like all of them are bilingual. Just the community that they serve is very, very well known to. It's very heavy Portuguese community. So sometimes people are like, well, they don't have checking accounts. Like, I'm like, you are somewhat racist. like,
Did
like,
we even ask or?
hey, so they got into first call resolution, keeping them on the phone, processing, one and done. Their overdue suspenses, because our name S360 dropped by half, right? Which was awesome because they were just one and doneing it. Like, moving on the next one, because sometimes there the phones go crazy. So there is a lot of walk-in traffic, but so be it. And talk about client management, which is one of the things we think you need to think about for 2026. From January to call it like mid-May, they had gotten over 136 people on EFT or pay in full. And they just were like, yeah, this is what we're doing. When they said, like, oh, this is a discount, they'd be like, oh, I can get that discount. Yeah, here's the money. Or I'll come back next week and give you the money. And that was the end of it. And this is what I'm talking about. You need to think about ways to manage your book so the book's not managing you. And it's been such a free for all. And trust me, I had one agency on the other side, Stephen, right? So not the happy side, but the other side. I got accused of being unethical by an account manager in the last year because I said that we need to prioritize different clients. And she said, you're prioritizing the rich people. I go, no.
No.
If I have 28 policies, I have 28 units of service.
Mm-hmm.
If my brother sometimes has insurance, he has half a unit of service. You're actually making it unfair to me to get 28 units of service. And she's just like, that's because you have money. And I go, but I've only needed 2 service requests in 5 years. So don't I have a bank of service I should be able to get somewhere?
No.
No, because you're giving it on to my brother. Remind him to pay one of his 3 claims this year. Saving him from pending cancellation, talking to my mom about how she pays his insurance. You're giving all the service to him and not to me. So if there's anybody that's not getting treated fairly, it is me, because you don't have time to reach out to me at my renewal because you're so busy talking to him. That's ineffective client management. And she told me I was unethical. I go, I didn't say that you wouldn't give service to my brother, but you can't give so much service to my brother that there's no time for me.
Correct.
That's why I go, that's the story of my whole life.
Well,
my brother needs so much that there's no time left for me.
I mean, you should figure it out on your own, Kelly.
No, that's what therapy is for. And that's why I create standards for boundaries.
I'm kidding, but yes.
I know. So let's just wrap up with, do you have any agencies that are using AI pretty effectively?
Yes. There's a new one that I'm obsessed with that's doing policy checks. So the renewal comes in and it's checking contract and coverage against the prior contract and coverage to highlight the differences. Or if they're getting something in from another carrier, they're able to find the contract and review it against what they're offering to show the pros and cons without having a real live 10-year, 20-year experienced person who knows how to read a contract go through every single one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Another one is using phone answer, which
we've got
there's been a few that have had some glitches and have come and gone and whatever, but it's gotten amazing. And it's literally a reception like, hey, thank you so much for choosing Agency Performance Partners. How can I help you today? And you talk to it and you think it's a real person.
That's
like,
cool.
It's gotten pretty amazing. So I think in our next podcast, we're going to go a little bit deeper into some of the trending or how to integrate the AI into our agencies in 2026. But there's a lot of great things out there if you're willing to take the time to learn what your commitment to it needs to be, as well as how to get the team to adapt. And is it really going to solve the pain point, or is it just a flashy sales process?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think you can learn a lot from some of their sales processes as well for your own sales team.
100%. And I also think another use of AI we have is I have an agency that just hires a lot of young people to come work and build up talent, which I love. And they have an AI bot that the newer people can ask insurance questions to, like, what is this? What's an example of that?
Yeah.
And it just helps point them in the right direction. So as opposed to going to your manager, be like, hi. It's an insurance AI bot that's there to answer questions and, provide guidance and resource. And I love it because it gives me more faith because it's insurance built. So it's like built by insurance. And if it doesn't know, it says, hey, I don't know, you need to talk to your manager, right? Like, I think that's pretty darn cool. So there's all these tools out there, and again, we want to be part of it, not the tail end of it. So don't forget to check out our strategic planner. So we're going to have literal examples of this in our strategic planner for 2026. You can get it print. We've got videos, but make sure you get it. If you got last year's, this year's going to have all this new stuff. Steve and I were just talking about it. So
I love it.
do not delay. Don't delay. Get it now. It goes on sale. It's on sale. And then unfortunately, November goes up in price. So you want to get it now. So our next podcast that we are going to be going over is how to integrate AI for 2026. So I can't wait to see you in our next podcast, Mr. Stephen Harrington.
I will see you soon.